Hi everyone, this is Ken Sato. Today is March 20th, 2019. Okay, today's topic is how to put Bitcoin SB to Japanese exchanges. So today I want to talk about my home country. We just got the news that one of the biggest exchange, crypto exchange in Japan, CoinCheck, decided to give Japanese yen to the user who had Bitcoin Cash at the last year's hard fork. So, as you know, if you have one Bitcoin Cash at the moment, you should get one Bitcoin Cash and one Bitcoin SB, right? But if you have money in the exchanges, often they kind of wait until until people really start angry about it and start demanding them to give their money back. And often they just give their token, right? That token, like if Bitcoin Cash separated two, they give you both of them, right? But this time they decided to give Japanese yen, same amount you have Bitcoin SB right now, something like that. So I think one reason they do that because there's no exchanges in Japan accepting Bitcoin SB yet. And then there is kind of like not clear, but the Department of Finance in Japan taking stance that they are not trying to put new coin into the exchanges. Okay, all right. So the situation is, the regulation wise, okay. If you read the law in Japan, after cryptocurrency get popular, they made new laws about cryptocurrency in Japan. And then Department of Finance has authority to regulate crypto exchanges, right? Before nothing was there, right? So Mt. Gox, they just dead, right? But because that kind of hacking happens in Japan, then they become laws, and people start thinking, oh, what is going on, right? It's an unregulated market. So they decided to make a regulation. And then it's interesting thing is that that regulation is just specifically talking about regulating crypto exchanges. So they don't talk about what is cryptocurrency is, or the exchange doesn't really have authority to regulate cryptocurrency itself. It's kind of interesting, right? But in a way, it's kind of understandable, right? It's just like if you like a New York Stock Exchange, they set the criteria for which company's stock can be listed on their exchanges, right? It makes sense. So they have their own criteria. So crypto exchange is supposed to be same to follow in that same way as normal stock exchange does. But the thing is, some reason the Department of Finance trying to micromanage the exchange, and they don't admit, but they are taking the policy of whitelist. Whitelist is the idea of opposite from blacklist, right? Blacklist, like if you're manager and then you put the blacklist on your name on the blacklist, and if they see it, your name, so you cannot come to this store, or you cannot buy this service, or this kind of things. That works that way, right? Blacklist, if you're listed, you're out. Whitelist is only people, if your name is in the whitelist, you are allowed to get in. But everybody else are not allowed, right? So in this case, the people claim that Department of Finance is creating a whitelist, and they have a list of coins they think okay. So then Bitcoin SP is not one of it yet, okay? At least not there. And so it's the difficulty for this is, so I called the Department of Finance in Japan last month and trying to figure out what it is that, like what exactly the criteria to bring in the whitelist. But they, in the first place, they don't admit they have whitelist. because the law said they don't, law doesn't say they have a power to regulate cryptocurrency itself. So they say we don't have power to regulate, that they say, right? But we ask all the crypto exchanges to submit registration form when they want to add new coins to their exchanges. Registration, right? Then I ask them one more time, so do you accept all the registration form? Then they say, oh, we cannot tell. Or what is the criteria you are accepting or not, right? They say they cannot tell. This is too much detail. That's between exchanges and the financial department. All right, because they can't, so this is like gray area. The Department of Finance don't not necessarily really have power to do so, but they kind of like indirectly using their power to regulate cryptocurrency exchange to let them kind of guide them or teach them or educate them which coins they should use or not, I think. If in generally speaking, there's the two terms in the government, right? Registration and the permission. So these two different things. The regulation, the registration is, everybody can do it, but you have to register you have to register in the government and put your information, your company's information, address, whatever it is, right? Then everybody can do it. But permission it's different, right? You have to, if you want to start it, you have to pass their criteria. Government give you criteria, right? This is the list you have to follow. Then if you pass the list, then you can get permission, you get license, right? Then free to do, but otherwise nobody else cannot do it. In this case, this is registration, not the permission, because government doesn't have power to decide which coin is good or not, right? But financial department are kind of like make hostage their license as a hostage, right? Because I think more than 100 companies submitting to get register license to become a Japanese crypto exchanges, but only like 20 companies has, right? So it's very difficult license and very expensive. So exchanges think, well, why we need to fight with, the financial departments, and, we don't want to be in a bad situation, like a relationship with them because they have a lot of power to regulate us. And then, they got less competition because, less people can be exchanges in the first place, so less competition, so they don't really, be hurried to do good for their customers. I think that's the situation right now, and both sides, it was big news. CoinCheck hacking incident was really huge. That was huge. All people know it. My mom know about that. That's big news. She doesn't know what is Bitcoin, but she just started using cell phone, a smartphone, last year or so, right? So she knows, like everybody else knows, right? So the Department of Finance, it's like, that kind of big hacking was happens, and not just the manager of the hacked exchange was blamed, but of course the Department of Finance also blamed, right? They got pressure from politicians to make to register, manage them better and stuff like that, and they got extra work to do, right? So they basically they something they want is like, oh, we don't want any troubles, like we don't want any problems more, we don't want to work more. I mean, the government, they don't want to do new things, right? They don't have incentive to do so anyway. So let's say, they say their attitude right now is, well, just wait a little bit and this, see what's gonna happen. Like, let's wait, this crypto boom just ends and all the dust settle down, and maybe we can think about it. But until then, everything freeze, like everything as is, like everything just stay as status quo. That they are thinking. That's the way they do right now. Yeah. So how we can overcome for these things? So one thing we gotta know about that Japan is, it's not a common law country. It's not like a US or a UK, and that's rather civil law, system. They take that system. So it's mean like all the law is written, right? All the regulation is written, often by, at least drafted by the bureaucrats and registered with politicians. But like a common law is like, if something happened, governments and the company who has problem fight on the court. They go to the court, and court decide, and then the court decision become basically law. So that's a little different style, right? In Japan, like if you go court, the judge going to take a look the existing regulation which bureaucrats write, and then they think, oh, this regulation say what, and then they follow that regulation. They think that regulation, if incident happens and compared to the regulation, they're gonna figure out this is legal or illegal, right? So that's the difference. So bureaucrats has a lot of power in Japan, and this is like a continental European style, right? Like Germany and France and stuff. So not just regulations usually. So under regulation, they have ministration ordinance or guidelines and stuff. Like it's more like an executive order type of things, but this is like really bureaucrats write, and it's kind of like there's a law, and then like how you manage this law kind of thing, type of regulations, and usually all the details are written in there. So the people who who are dealing in the specific topic in the department has really strong power. But if you can convince them, and then it's okay. It's like you don't need to go court to do it. Usually they don't do that. So I think there's a two-way to put the Bitcoin SB on the exchanges, Japanese exchanges. One is more like organic way. Like if price of Bitcoin SB goes up, and more users start be angry about it, they'll not get money back, right? So maybe then also the exchanges start thinking, oh, if the coin is going to go up, and that's a great chance to make money, right, for them. So because more people want to buy that kind of coin. So if that kind of things happens, maybe more people demands, and then the exchange finally start thinking, okay, we need to put these coins in our exchanges, and then they might ask the financial department to admit that, or accept that coins, or make them say okay. That's one scenario. Second scenario is Bitcoin SB like business and companies, right? Like miners, exchanges, wallets companies, websites, and research and development companies. Maybe some users, like Bitcoin Association get together and make a letter of request to the financial department to accept the registration of Bitcoin SB on the Japanese exchanges. Then ask like well-respected exchanges like SoftBank to really openly, publicly submit the registrations, to the department. If you do this in like closed door, I don't think it's gonna work, because government just say, oh, we don't want it. They just say that, they cannot say it, but they do it, right? They do all the power to do that, right? If that's not public. So it has to be public. They have to do press release. They have to do, like a called, mass media to, ask, like interview you or something like that. But they have to do public way. Then, if they got pressure like that, it's not just Japan, right? It's like world is moving and the industry is evolving, and why just only Japan is not accepting this kind of type of pressure? Is I think it's kind of effective, I think, and then their authority to do that, to stop everything, it's not really strong. So if they're kind of pressure, if they got, then they have to say yes in point. So that's another way to do it, right? That's a two ways. I don't know which is better. I mean, if price just start doubling tomorrow, become 10 times next month, and that's gonna happen very quickly. But I don't know that's gonna happen. Coin check going to start dumping the coins, and maybe coins price going down. So I don't know. So I think it might not too bad. We get together and start doing sending as a business of Bitcoin SB, get together and pressure them to do it in kind of official way, like a professional way. Then maybe that's the best way. I don't know. Let me know what you think. That's my opinion. Please leave a comment. All right. Talk to you later. Bye bye.